Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessica if you're new here, and I'm a woman in long-term recovery from a 14-year opiate addiction. I am a certified Narcan trainer, which just means, shortened version, is that I am certified to go one-on-one or into businesses, hospitals, pretty much anywhere that I am called and asked to come in and train people how to administer Narcan and reverse overdoses. I'm also a peer recovery specialist, which means that because of my lived experience through my 14-year drug addiction, that I am certified, and because of the training that I went through, that I can help people get into treatment, navigate their recovery, help people learn how to do harm reduction and things like that if they're still in active addiction. And those are my certifications right now. I do intend on adding to them because that's just the type of person that I am. Those are the things that I want to do with my life. I had other plans for this video today. I wanted to make kind of something fun and frivolous because I have a tendency to talk about really heavy things on my channel, and that's just the nature of the game when you make a channel where you do social media or you talk about addiction or recovery or mental health or childhood trauma or anything like that. You tend to have to talk about heavy topics, so I planned on making just a funny little video, to kind of give you guys some stuff to giggle about and stuff that you don't know about me that might be funny, just to kind of lighten the mood a little bit. And I am going to make that video, but that's not what this video is about today, because I made a TikTok account. And that's funny to me in a way because I'm 40. And I considered TikTok for a very long time pretty much like a younger generation app. And I still do in some ways, but I've only had my TikTok account for a couple of days, not even a full week yet. One of the first things that I noticed when I made my TikTok account was I have no idea how to work that app, number one. It took me all of like 30 minutes to offend somebody, so I had to take my first video down. The second thing that I noticed about TikTok was that they have a massive, massive recovery community on there. And I think that's great because you don't find that a lot. As you can see by this sign that hangs behind me that I painted. And if you've ever watched any videos of mine, if you've ever heard me talk, if you ever follow me on any social media, you'll know that this right here is something that I get really passionate about, and that is the stigma that addicts, and not just addicts, but people have to fight all the time. If you have ever gone through an addiction, if you suffer from any mental health issues at all, if you're overweight, if you have any childhood trauma, if you have anything about you that this world considers off or different, you've probably had some stigma against you in your life, and that shit pisses me off. It pisses me off really bad. And that is why I'm making this video today, and why it went from, oh, let's make something fun, and to, well, no, we're not going to be able to make something fun. We're going to make a public service announcement. And something else that I noticed outside of the wonderful recovery TikTok community is that there is an obscene amount of people on TikTok. And it's not just TikTok, because I see it on YouTube. I see it everywhere, all over the internet. I see a lot of people on TikTok being out somewhere and seeing somebody that is in the throes of their active addiction and somebody else filming them. And, man, I cannot tell you how bad that pisses me off. And I know that no matter how much I say anything about it or anybody says anything about it, I know that there's always going to be those people out there, because unfortunately that's just how humans are. But that doesn't mean that I have to be quiet about it, because people suffer in silence all the time. And I'm not one of those people anymore. So for the people that are suffering in silence, I will be your voice. I'll be the one to speak up for you and say that's not right. Because it's not right. If you were out walking on the street, out with your family, you take your kids out for ice cream, or you're out with your friends, if you're like a kid. Because kids nowadays have cell phones when they like come out of the fucking womb for some reason. But if you were out with your friends and you saw someone get in a car wreck and they were laying there on the ground, and let's say that they hit their head in that car wreck and it was causing their body to have a seizure, would you film it? Would you put it on the internet? If you saw a child getting abducted, would you film it and put it on the internet? And let me put it to you another way, if that doesn't sink home with you. If you were out with a group of your friends, or if you were out by yourself and something bad happened to you, like if you're a woman and you're out by yourself and some man or another woman tried to grab you and kidnap you for purposes of like raping you or murdering you, or kidnapping you for sex trafficking purposes. And you know what? You don't even have to be a fucking woman for that. Just anybody. If you were out for that, would you want some jackass standing in front of you at the 7-Eleven recording it and putting it on the internet? Or would you want that person to step up and help you? And let me just go ahead, because I know that there's going to be somebody in the comments or somebody that's going to see this video and then send me a private message or a DM. But there's always that one person that sends me a DM and says, oh, well, they don't want help. And you know what? For people that are struggling with addiction, most of the time when we're in the throes of our active addiction, you're right, we don't want help. And that's where harm reduction comes in. Because I would say that if I talk to 10 people on a daily basis, let me say it this way. If I talk to 10 people in one day, and 10 of those people, all of those people that I talk to are in active addiction, and they don't act like they want help, that's fine. That's fine with me. I'm not going to treat them any different. I'm not going to film them. If I'm sitting there talking to them and I take them food or water, or I drop off Narcan to them, or, I take them some clothes because the weather's changing and they don't have appropriate clothes and they're homeless, and while I'm sitting there talking to them, having a conversation with them, they start nodding out, because that's something that drug users do. When we get high, we nod out. I'm not gonna be like, fucking A, there's a filming opportunity, let me pull out my phone and take a quick video of them so I can put it on my TikTok account and get a lot of views. I don't understand what makes people's minds work that way, that they think that shit's okay. I don't get that. So, yeah, you're right. There are a lot of people that are in addiction, and they're active addiction, whether it's drug use or whether it's alcohol, whether they have a gambling addiction or food addiction or a shopping addiction, whatever it is, because it isn't all just about drugs. You can be addicted to anything. I buy a shitload of pens, And I'm fully aware, and no, I'm not fucking joking. No, I'm not making light of it. I'm fully aware that if I don't keep my addict mentality and my addict behavior in check, that I will come home with like $500 worth of pens. Because that's how my brain works. So when I say that you can be addicted to anything, I mean that you can be addicted to anything. And while we are in the throes of our active addiction, no matter what that active addiction is, we may not be open and accepting to help. But what happens when I talk to people that are in active addiction and they aren't open to receiving that help is I build a fucking bridge with you. Because I show you that I'm not an asshole. I'm not going to take pictures of you. I'm not going to film you while you're in active addiction and you're off of your fucking rocker and doing things that you normally would not do and put it on the internet. I'm going to show you that, yes, I am a kind and compassionate person and that I'm not an asshole. Well, okay, I am an asshole, but I'm not an asshole unless I need to be. Let me put it that way. So what you do by practicing harm reduction is you build a bridge. You meet that person where they are at. So when that person has that window of opportunity that we've talked about before that is so quick to shut, when that person, you know, is having that day where they're like, fuck, I'm tired of living this life. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And they're like, I don't have anybody, you know, because my friends and my family and everybody else have turned their back on me. I want to be that one person in their mind that they're like, damn, I can call Jessica. That's what harm reduction does. That's what being a non-asshole does. So why should we not film addicts and active addiction? Why should we not make a YouTube channel where we ride around the streets of Kensington? And if you don't know what Kensington is, it's a whole ass neighborhood that people make YouTube videos about, and they literally ride up and down this street. It's the largest open air drug market in the United States. And it is one of the saddest places that I've ever seen in my life. It breaks my fucking heart every time I see it. There are a couple YouTube channels that they film those people there, but they don't film all the bad. They film themselves going out and like giving free haircuts and handing out water and giving safe supplies and taking those people out and buying them something to eat, or, you know, like I said, getting them water, doing shit that we're supposed to be doing for each other. It's called compassion. It's called being nice. You know? So I just don't understand it, because there's so many videos that I saw on TikTok. And these people not only like film people that, you know, it seems like there's a lot of them in a gas station. Like, you'll go into a gas station and then you'll see somebody that's tweaking. They pull out their fucking phone. Oh, let me take a video of that. That's somebody's fucking family, y'all. That is somebody's family. Because I could tell you right now that if somebody ever took a video of somebody that I know and love that is struggling with active addiction and you post that shit on the internet, you better hold on, because I'm gonna fucking come for you. Don't do that shit. Don't fucking be ignorant like that. Don't. How would you feel? Just stop for just a fucking second while you're standing there in line. When that person is in front of you, just stop for just a second and think, how would I feel if that was somebody I knew and loved and cared about? How would I feel if somebody else was treating somebody that I knew and loved and cared about the way I'm getting ready to treat this person? Just stop for just a fucking second and think that. Because regardless of what you think, whether you agree that addiction is a disease, whether you agree that it's a choice, regardless of what you think, you can take all that out to the side. It just comes down to being nice. Because it doesn't matter whether you think that we're all just junkies and that's all we're ever going to be. So yeah, that's not the case. So you can take that part out of it. You can take out the part whether you care if it's a choice, whether you think it's a disease. You can take all that out of it because it takes zero effort for you to keep your phone in your pocket. Or if you already got it in your hand, it takes zero effort for you not to turn on your fucking camera. Because I just want to know, if you're one of those people that does this, and you post that shit on the fucking internet, and you get all the views, and you get all the fucking snide comments, what do you gain from it? If you're a parent, like, are you setting a good example for your kids? Are your kids proud of you? Obviously you have parents because you can't get here unless somebody gave birth to your ungrateful ass. So is your mom and dad proud of you? And if you don't have a mom and dad that you give a fuck about, like somebody raised you, so the people in your life that you care about, are you making them proud with your behavior? Because I could tell you what, like, I got a shaky relationship with my mom, we'll put it that way, and that shit is always in the back of my mind. Always. With everything that I do. And I talk to my dad and my stepmom pretty much every day, and every fucking thing I do, I think about, you know, is what I'm doing, is it going to make them proud? Are they going to be proud of me? So why aren't y'all thinking about that shit? And even if you're not thinking about it, like if you don't have family that you worry about making proud of you, because I understand families are fucked up. Like I got all kinds of family trauma I could tell you about if you want to sit down and have a conversation about it. Just your own personal self. Like, how do you lay down at night knowing that you posted that? You posted someone's suffering on the internet for other people to see. Because, like I said, regardless of whether you think it's a choice, a disease, whether you think they want help, whether you think once a junkie, always a junkie, no matter what you think about that, that's somebody standing there in front of you, beside you, behind you, around you, that's fucking suffering. We don't just become drug addicts because it's something fucking fun. And for all of those out there that are like, oh, it's a choice, they know what they're doing, blah, blah, blah. Well, let me tell you what. The very first time that I did drugs, it was a prescription medicine. And I did it. I made the choice to do it. And very fucking quickly, it was no longer a choice. And until you have been through that, until you have walked a mile in my shoes, until you have literally lived through the things that I've lived through in my life, don't come at me and tell me what you would or would not do. And if you've gone through, oh, I've been through that, I had a traumatic childhood, you know, blah, 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 and I never did that. Well, good for you. Good for you, because I got an older brother that lived through the same childhood that I did, and he handles shit way better than I do. Because you and I can live through the exact same trauma, and you can think it's not traumatic, and I can. Because people handle trauma different. Do some research. You carry an encyclopedia around, so instead of fucking using your encyclopedia to film motherfuckers and embarrass them and act like you're better than them, use it for some fucking research and expand your mind instead of just expanding your asshole resume. I didn't want to make this video today, y'all. I wish that I didn't have to make this video today. And honestly, I wish that me and all the other people that have made a video like this could make our videos, and everybody out there that does this shit, that makes us make these videos, would be like, you know what? They're right. And that's kind of a shit move on my part. I'm not going to fucking do it anymore. But that's not the case. Because there's always going to be a motherfucker out there that thinks it's funny to film the fucking junkie to film the person laying on the sidewalk overdosing. That shit blows my fucking mind. Blows my mind. How in the fuck you gonna sit there and record somebody dying? Because that's what it is. Like, really, that is what it is. They're laying there dying, and you're filming it. All I can say is that I hope that when it comes your time, you better hope there's some compassionate motherfuckers around you. Because you know what? When it's my time to go, if it's not going to be an easy one, I hope that I'm surrounded by a bunch of addicts. Because I know that they are some of the most compassionate people I've ever met in my fucking life. So I hope and pray to God that not just when I die, but if anything ever fucking happens to me, I hope if I ever get in a car wreck, God forbid. But if anything ever happens to me, if I ever get stranded, if I ever fucking get in a car wreck, if I'm ever getting attacked, anything like that, I hope that there's an addict nearby. Because we're some compassionate people. Because we know what it's like to be shit on all our lives. So we try really hard not to do that to other people. And I know what you're going to say. And I can make a whole ass video about that too. Oh, but my cousin Jimmy was an addict and he robbed my mom all blind. Yeah, he probably did. And I guarantee that your cousin Jimmy is going to beat himself up about what he did to your mama longer than y'all can ever think about doing it, and harder than y'all can ever think about doing it. Because the guilt and the shame that we carry over our addiction and the actions that we carried out while we were in active addiction is heavier than y'all would ever imagine. You will not ever know the weight that addicts carry on their shoulders during active addiction and after. So don't add to it. You know, when I went to school, yeah, it was a long ass time ago. We're taught the golden rule. You know what the golden rule is? You treat others how you want to be treated. So in my mind, that means that if you're walking down the street and you see somebody on the street that you're going to pass, even if you're not going to fucking pass them, you see somebody on the fucking street that's suffering, don't add to their suffering. That's a pretty simple concept to me. Obviously, it's not to other people. Don't be part of the problem, be part of the solution. I just don't get it, y'all. I don't fucking get it. I don't understand how people's minds work. And I don't understand how, even though I can sit down and have a rational conversation with some people that do this, and we can have a rational conversation, and some people can sit down and be like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then you get up and go do the same shit. I don't get it, y'all. And that's it. That's all I gotta say for today. My back hurts. I cannot sit in this chair anymore. I gotta go watch This Is Us so me and Katie can talk about it. Because she's bugging the shit out of me about it. And Katie, I know you're watching this, so now you know what video I was filming when I was talking to you and telling you that I cannot watch This Is Us. Crap. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for coming to my latest TED Talk. Crap, y'all. Like I always say, stay safe. Be kind to each other. It takes very little effort. It gives you less wrinkles to smile than it does to frown. It's scientifically proven. You can look it up. Just be nice to people, okay? Help people when they need it. If nothing else, because karma is a bitch. And she has a long memory. Long memory. Be nice. Y'all, stop filming people that are suffering. Don't add to other people's suffering. Don't add to other people's pain. Okay? Stay safe. Test your supplies. If you need help, if you need somebody to talk to, all my information is always in my description box below. Always. If you guys need Narcan, if you need to be trained on how to administer Narcan, anything like that, please don't hesitate to reach out. If you need someone to talk to, if you or a loved one is suffering with addiction, if you're suffering with depression, anything like that, and you want someone to talk to, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can find me here. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on TikTok. For better or for worse. I feel old as shit saying that, but it is what it is. I love you all. I will see you guys in the next one.